A 74-year-old man is appearing before the Komani Magistrate's Court in the Eastern Cape, facing charges of attempted murder. It's alleged that the man plotted to have his wife killed and made it look like a suicide. She was hanged in anticipation that she would die, but survived the ordeal. The suspect, who is a retired pastor, is expected to apply for bail. SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies brings us the latest from Queenstown. A very good morning to you, Abongile. Thank you so much for joining us. What's happening in court this morning?
Well, we just made our way inside the court, and the matter was adjourned for about 30 minutes to check whether the alleged suspect in this matter has any previous criminal records. Well, that's what we're waiting for. That's why we were able to step outside and give you this live broadcast. As you can see behind me, there are women who have come to say no bail to the ordeal that has shocked the community of Komani here in the Eastern Cape. They are saying that it's a bit for an elderly man to commit such a crime, to have his wife dead, is quite saddening. And as a religious person who's a retired pastor, someone society looks up to, it's really quite unfortunate. And they are saying they have no one to trust in society, since the church is where people look up to. But to tell us more, I have the activist of gender-based violence, Utata Petros Majola of the Kula Development Organization, of which where he is a director. A very good morning to you, sir. You've been following the story since it broke. What do you make of it?
Thank you, Abongile. Yes, I've been following, and it doesn't sit as well in our hearts when every day we get the sad and shocking news. But we've been following. We have managed to speak to the victim. She's in hospital, but really it upsets, and we are here today to say no pain to the perpetrator, to the man of God who tried to assist people to get his wife murdered, but fortunately she did not die.
How is the victim, since you've been engaging with her?
The victim is not well at all. She's still struggling. She has not even healed. She even cries. I even asked her that we shouldn't speak to her over the phone, but she said to me, speaking over the phone or via WhatsApp is part of a therapy, is part of a road to healing, but she's not well. The reason we are saying no bail is because if this man can be released today while the victim is still in hospital, that is going to be another blow to that woman. But if she hears that she did not make it for bail, at least she will feel stronger than ever.
Have you established in your engagements with her, maybe it's something the police will have to confirm, the motive behind this gruesome act?
As much as we have engaged, but I feel that that one is in the hands of the investigating officer, so that it becomes part of evidence that will be tabled before the court.
Okay, was he acting alone in this matter? What have you gathered? Was he acting alone when committing this?
No, according to victim, there were 3 other men who were involved, and they lifted, the 4 of them, including the husband, they lifted the woman to the garage, and they lifted her up with the hands and the feet tied with some ropes, and they tried to close the mouth tied with a sellotape, and they hanged on a roof, or on a rope from the roof. So there were 4 men involved, including the husband.
Okay, Tatu Majola, the spate of gender-based violence, what do you make of it in this regard?
We are having quite a number of awareness workshops, the campaigns and everything, but I realize that every day we are getting new cases. I am sure that a syndicate is planning to fight with what we are doing, but we cannot fold arms. We cannot take off gloves and say, no, let us give up, let us surrender, because the GBV is almost now happening every day. We're going to fight, and I must warn those people that we are coming. They can do whatever they want to do, but we are coming. We'll never stop.
In In February this year, you were part of a men's conference highlighting the issues of gender-based violence in Cape Town. Did those engagements yield anything positive going forward?
I must be honest by saying, while I receive these cases, it simply means that the men's conferences, men's imbizos, they do not actually yield good results. The reason being, when we go to those conferences, we always target the already transformed. We are not going to the most group that is committing this crime. We take people who are so humble that they can not even kill a fly, and then we take them to conferences. But now we need to change the target audience, so that but changing the target audience as well is not an easy one, because a reverend, a pastor, a priest, a prophet, you can never associate him with this kind of a crime.
I thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
Well, Simpiwe, that was Petros Majola, a community activist of gender-based violence here in the Eastern Cape. He really follows these cases, especially with issues alongside children and women. Well, I have to make my way inside court as the matter is scheduled to return to the stand. Simpiwe, I shall bring you more after the proceedings.
Thanks indeed, Abongile. We'll be chatting to you a little later. Abongile there is out at Queenstown in the Eastern Cape, wherein a 74-year-old man is appearing before the Komani Magistrate's Court in the Eastern Cape facing charges of murder.